Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Annisa. If you're new here, I post a little bit of like beauty, makeup, lifestyle, a little bit of everything. And right now I just got the itch to just do my eyebrows. I haven't done them in a couple months. They're totally overgrown. Right here it looks like I have like an indent, like I'm bald, but it's actually just a birthmark. It's red hair. There's actually hair there. It's red and it goes through to here. This is a birthmark. I mean, obviously this is all dyed, but this is a birthmark. I wanted to kind of match my balayage to my hair color a little bit. But like this right here, that's dyed. Like you don't see it from the root here. That's because this is a birthmark. And it goes through my eyebrow, which I've always thought like half my eyebrow was bald, and then I realized it was actually hair. But I decided I just wanted to sit down and record how I do my own eyebrows. Normally I would go to someone, but with quarantine and pandemic, I started doing my eyebrows myself. One of my eyelashes is super annoying right now. There's a couple of different ways to do it. I mean, I just kind of do it the way I was taught in school, but because I went to cosmetology school, I always keep a tissue or like a piece of cotton on hand to wipe all the hairs off on, just because it's gross to just kind of throw the hair around. I always have a spoolie with me just to brush the hairs up. I keep these little eyebrow scissors. You can get them like off Amazon. I got these from Forever 21 a long time ago, but they're great. You brush them up, cut them. I'll show you how to do that. I have two different types of tweezers. I have these ones, which I just use to pull the hair out. These ones to kind of dig and get like those really small ones out that are just being really stubborn, or just like any really stubborn hairs. And then I go in with one of these little like eyebrow razors, little face razors, and clean up anything at the end that I see that I'm like, oh, I really don't feel like tweezing that. And then I have this double-sided mirror. So this side's the normal side, and then I have my magnified side. Oh, I almost blinded you guys. I like to use the magnified side for this part, for going in and tweezing to make sure you get all the hairs, and then I go back with the normal side and clean everything up because I don't want to like overdo it. So I'll show you how I do everything. I have my little ring light thing here. I always have this on when I do my eyebrows, even if it's like, right now it's, what time is it? It's 7:20 p.m. Even if I do this during the day, I try to have my light on because there's hairs that you'll miss if you don't have a light on. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I also forgot to mention, I always tone my eyebrows before and after. I am very prone to getting acne, especially getting acne in my eyebrows if I don't tone or clean up my acne at my face before and after doing my eyebrows. So I'm just going to use this Thayer's Witch Hazel Aloe Vera formula. It's the unscented one. I love the rose one too, but I was sent the unscented one and I absolutely love it. It smells amazing. Like there's no scent to it, and it's great for like when my skin is kind of having flare up. I have this open. It's the only reason that I'm using it right now instead of the rose one. I have a rose one. It's just I opened that one first because I want to try it, and I don't feel like opening both and having them just sit here. But like literally no smell, like no scent at all. So if you have sensitive skin, definitely like do this one. I also have been trying to avoid using scents if if I have open skin, open pores, whatever. So pulling hair out probably is the best time to use unscented, just because scents can irritate that and probably cause acne and issues. I don't want that. So we're about to get up close and personal. I have my little mirror under here. Just want to make sure you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I always start with this eye. I just don't know why, I just do. And I just brush everything up because I don't like to over pluck or anything. So brushing upwards first kind of tells you can I speak? Brushing upwards helps tell you what the definition of your eyebrow is. So this natural line right here, like that, is my eyebrow, and I love how my eyebrow looks. But I have all these hairs down here, and I don't want them. So this is what I do first. I try to brush them upward, up, out type of thing. I take my tissue and I wrap it around my opposite hand. I'm right-handed, so I'll wrap around my left finger, and then taking the normal tweezers, not the little ones, I just start going in. And they say in school you're supposed to keep the skin taut and pull to minimize pain. If you're doing it to yourself, the pain really doesn't matter. I'm so sorry if you hear that in the background. It's the neighborhood kids. The kids are like outside running around and having fun. Like, don't mind them. But like, you see, just, no, you can't even see it, but like I have 2 little hairs on there. But I just keep doing that. And like sometimes your tweezers will break a hair in half, and if it breaks it in half, you can't grab it with these. That's when you go in with the smaller ones, but I try to do that at the end so I don't over pluck my eyebrows thinking I have to grab every single little thing. So, and they say in school only grab 1 hair at a time to minimize pain again, but again, this is like yourself. I think other people cause more pain on you than you do yourself, like physical wise, just because like you're expecting it, you know it. So, and I try not to pick too much on my tail of my eyebrow. If you do that, that's how you end up over plucking and I end up having like a really short eyebrow. And if that's what you're into, like go for it, like have fun. But I don't, like, I'm not into that trend. So hold on, let me move my chair forward. I'm so far away for no reason. Okay, now I'm readjusted. And like plucking your eyebrows yourself can hurt. You have to build a tolerance to it. And if you're starting out, definitely try holding it and pulling it out, because you definitely won't feel as much pain. But as you get used to it, you'll be like, I just want to fly through this. And flying through it and not pulling the skin is so much easier. I just like to do everything really quick. I'm awful about it. So yeah, you just do it this way if you want to minimize pain. If you're new to doing your eyebrows yourself, I just sit here and pull. I just really don't care. And as you keep doing your eyebrows yourself, or even getting your eyebrows done, you start learning what the shape is that you like. There's sometimes I've gone to multiple places and I hate what they do in my eyebrows. And then I go to one person, I'm like, I love what you did in my eyebrows. You followed my natural like eyebrow. So perfect. I want to do that. So you can definitely keep up on it yourself. Instead of going back, you can just keep up with it with, you know, plucking yourself. But sometimes you just forget and you don't want to keep tweezing your own eyebrows. So I get it. But once you kind of get to that habit where you know how you like your eyebrow to look, you then kind of learn, I don't like need to go anywhere. I can just do it myself. But I mean, there's always times where you just want to pamper yourself. And if you want to pamper yourself, why not? But like, if you want to pamper yourself, go get your eyebrows done. Whether it's tweezing, waxing, whatever, just go do it. Okay, so I think I've cleaned up most of underneath and around. To check, then I usually flip the mirror back, because no one's going to be up close and personal in your business looking at your eyebrow and being like, you missed the hair. So there's like, it's good to look at yourself in a more natural view, like from far away or with a normal mirror at times, to make sure you're not over plucking, to make sure like your eyebrow looks fine. And like, if you are busy, like if you're in the middle of doing something and you're like, I gotta go within, like I have to go somewhere tomorrow and I have a million things I have to do. I have to prep and do a face mask and a million things. Just do this all with a normal mirror, just not the magnified, just a normal mirror, and just like clean them up. Don't even like do the full thing, just clean them up a little bit. Okay, so I usually wear my eyebrows kind of fluffed up and outward like that. So when I'm plucking, I usually try to, and they say don't say plucking because it's a chicken. You're not a chicken, you don't pluck yourself, you tweeze. So I usually tweeze my eyebrows like this, all crazy looking, but then I usually wear my eyebrows kind of filled in and outward like that, and that's how I wear them. So there's a little bit more I could do, especially here on the end. I have some pieces that just definitely need to come out. And then there's some at the top that need to come out. And I see a straggler here. And again, like, I don't like to touch my tail too much, because if I do that, I overdo it, and it makes me so mad, because I'm like, why did I do that to my tail? So I try not to touch the tail. I try to touch around it. Just kind of take some pieces off. And then I just kind of just carelessly go in and grab all these pieces around my eyebrow out. Same with down here, if there's any stragglers. I don't see too many that are stuck in, like, sometimes I'll get like the ingrown eyebrow hairs where they're not fully ingrown, but they're kind of stuck in the skin weird. I didn't see any with this eyebrow, so I definitely don't have to use the little one. I also like to come up here in the front and kind of even this out. Not too much though, like don't overdo it. But there's definitely a time and a place. And again, I don't like to do too much. If I keep going, I just end up doing way too much. So this is my, I guess you just can't see it still. There's a bunch of hairs on there. It's really gross. I usually do one tissue per eyebrow because it's gross. But I'm not done with this eyebrow yet because we need to scissor them down. This eyebrow, if you're right-handed, this eyebrow is a little bit easier. If you're left-handed, it'll be harder. Then this one will be harder if you're right-handed. It always is for me. So I always have to be really careful not to over cut my eyebrow. So this part is more based on just seeing the differing lengths in the eyebrow. So when you, from its growth point, brush it all upward, you see that they're all kind of like not the same. So you go in with this, and I hold it like this because I'm doing it on myself. But if you're doing it to someone, you would like that. But this is really hard for me. It's actually easier to hold it like this for me. And I just go through and I just shape my eyebrow and I cut them all the same length. And again, this is something that, like, when you're new to it, it's really scary. Also, your scissors are more curved. Most of the eyebrow ones I find are curved. I do it where it's curved upward, not downward. But yeah, if you're new to this, it'll be a little bit like nauseating in a sense, because you're like, I'm totally gonna mess up my eyebrow, and it's terrifying. But then you do it and it's totally fine. So this is the same one. I just turned it inside out. Now I just brush it out. It's way cleaner than it was before. There's something wrong with my eyelash. So take a good look at this eyebrow, because I'm about to go take this one off camera, because you probably don't want to sit here for another 10 minutes watching me do this eyebrow. So I'm gonna go do this off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished tweezing this eyebrow. Sorry if you hear noise in the back. My parents are watching a movie. I don't know what movie. It's really loud though. And my dogs keep barking because I don't think they like the noises of the movie, or they hear someone outside. I don't know, there's something. Also, I have a dog that's really temperamental and likes to just bark at people when they're not giving her attention. She's a whole nightmare. Anyway, I love her, but she's crazy. So I haven't scissored it yet, just because I knew that you probably would want to see how I do it across my body, because I didn't really understand it. But let me just go in again. This side, I didn't see anything that was ingrown, that was stuck in my skin or anything, so I have to use a small one. So I take this one, I actually go this way, but it's super hard, so I actually have to keep stopping and rebrushing this. So let's just start going. And like, your scissors are gonna push them down, push the hair down. So that's why you just have to be more cautious of what you're doing and just kind of go over the side again a couple times. Like, I know that didn't really cut anything. Like, that cut just a few hairs, which was annoying. Let's try it again. I just don't like to use this as a guide, just because I don't want to like make the hairs uneven since you're pushing on it. But here we go. And when you get to that point at the end, can definitely switch to your hands if you're a little bit more confident in your left hand. And just kind of do your tail. Again, your tail is kind of important if you keep your eyebrows almost like natural. I know there's that trend where you cut off the tail end. So, but if you're keeping your tail, it's very important not to like overcut them or anything. So you have to be super careful in what you do. We can definitely just do that. And I talked about the little razor thing earlier. In beauty school, at least in my beauty school, it was forbidden to even look at these. I love them for myself. If you're doing this on someone else, you probably shouldn't use this because you can't really clean them. I mean, I guess you could, but a lot of the hairs get stuck in this inner part right here because it just does fall in and you can't get them out unless you like unscrew the whole thing. I'm sure there's no way to unscrew it. So yeah, you just can't use these on multiple people. But I didn't do this on the other side either. But sometimes there's peach fuzz or other things that you'll just miss. So I just very lightly go in and clean around the eyebrow line that I like. And sometimes you'll nick yourself. It's literally like shaving. I go back and forth. I also use this down my middle because again, I even tweezed it, but sometimes you just miss stuff and you're like, oh, there was that. So even on this side, just go around. This just kind of cleans it up a bit. And again, it's one of those things where it's like you don't need them perfect if you're not taking like up close pictures of yourself like that. But I'm just kind of a perfectionist. So like this part you could totally skip if you don't want to do it. But I'm very much picky about my eyebrows and want to make sure. So even above my eyebrow, even though I went through and I plucked, tweezed, whatever you want to call it, there's still some hairs there that are kind of annoying. So I even go in with this and very carefully brush this down to the line of my eyebrow, because you could definitely just like slip your hand and put a nick through your eyebrow, which I mean, like the whole cut eyebrow thing is a trend. It's cool. But same on this side. Just gonna go in, and again I have to be even super careful here because I have the spot that looks like there's no hairs, but there is hair. So I have to be careful not to just like cut into that thinking, oh, I can just go even past that. Like it's literally not that. I just have to clean it up because I can still use like the tinted gel powder on these, on that part, and it tints it and then it doesn't even look like there's nothing there. Or the illusion that there's nothing there. But that's basically it. And then let's just fill my eyebrows for fun. I have nothing to go do. I'm not doing anything today. Again, it's now almost 8. But why not? Let's just do it as if like I'm in an actual beauty parlor and I got my eyebrows done. So I always use, oh well, first let's actually tone. Let's tone again just to be safe. These are open pores. So again with the toner, just go in. I just clean it up. I even make sure to get the skin around too, since I use that little razor thing. Because anything that could be possibly open needs to be cleaned. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second and then we can do my eyebrows. Fill them in and show you how they look once filled in. Okay, so now my eyebrows have dried down a little bit. I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is in dark brown. When I first got it, I thought maybe it was too dark, but now that I've gotten used to it, I don't think it's really that dark. And back when I got it, it was when like we were doing the trend of just filling in your eyebrows, like the Instagram brows. I mean, we're not doing that anymore. Now you'll apply here an ice cream truck. It's like 8 p.m. here in my neighborhood. It's just lit, like we're doing stuff. Anyway, so I always take a little bit on this brush. This is a This is the Morphe E43 brush. It's just a flat brush, and I absolutely love it for my eyebrows. I don't use it for anything else. I think you're supposed to use this for eyeliner. I don't even remember what it's like marketed as on their website. I just love this for eyebrows. If it's for eyebrows, perfect. But if it's for eyeliner, I don't know anything about that. I don't use her for eyebrows. I mean, eyeliner, I only use her for eyebrows. Anyway, so I start here, and I do kind of like that Instagram brow trait has kept with me with having to start here and kind of make that line. But I go out and I kind of go into my tail a little bit just to define it more. And then up here, because of my little bald spot, I call it, even though it's not bald, I just kind of fill it in a little bit because any of that pomade can hold on to it. But I even push all of this up using some of this pomade, just because I do fluff my eyebrows. I don't want there to be any really dark spots. Let's do the other side real quick. So again, and this is like my better brow. I prefer this brow over this one. I've been trying to love her, but I think she's just too much work for me just because of that bald spot. This one's just always naturally really pretty to me, but I don't know. In the comments, let me know which eyebrow is your fave. The one with the bald spot or the normal one. So again, go down to the tail, fill in the tail a little bit. And then using this, kind of push up, kind of fill in the eyebrows in general. And even right here a little bit. If you ever make a mistake, like you put too much, your fingers are perfect for this. Like this literally best. I love this stuff so much. Best pomade ever. Okay, and then I go in with this one I've had for 2 years now, a year and a half or whatever. I probably should order more, but this is the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel, I believe. It's not the pomade, it's Dip Brow Gel, I believe it's called. And this is in chocolate. I definitely need more. I'm definitely running out. But then with this, I just push it all upward and out. Because I used to just do that, and I'm not a fan of that look anymore. So I just go up. And kind of like, I don't like just go upward with all of it. I just kind of follow the line of my brow and go outward. And there's times where I'm like, that's too fluffy. But I mean, like the fluffy look versus the non-fluffed look. So I think it lifts your face really well. So again with this side, flipping outward. I use my left hand for this. I'm a little bit better with my left hand for this part. Okay, so now, let's clean it up. Now this is my eyebrows, all cleaned up and swollen. And it's gotten darker since I've started this. Let's do a better front view so it's not so dark. Okay, so now I'm just holding my camera because why not? So that's how they look now, just fully done, cleaned up. I'm not putting any makeup on. It's literally, again, it's 8, so I'm not doing anything for the rest of the day. I'm probably just gonna go wash this all off anyway. But yeah, I just like to do my eyebrows myself now just because of the whole pandemic. It was like, where am I gonna go get my eyebrows done? So now I just do them myself, and sometimes I get really lazy and I don't do it. I'll probably go back and get my eyebrows done when I'm like feeling really lazy, I don't want to do them, or if I'm like crunched on time. But that's how they look. Let's get a more up close shot. Looking cute. My lips are chapped. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on anything I used, please comment down below. Make sure you go follow me on all my socials. They're linked down below as well. I have a lot of affiliate links that you can use as well. They come to no extra cost to you if you use them, but they do just help me out and help me continue making content. So go ahead and use those. I'll link a couple of them below in the comments as well. And thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.